Our farming here, we milk about 8,500 cows. It's on 4,500 hectares. That's what we do, and half of those were winter milk calving as well. Me and my boys, we run the contracting side of that company division. That's why we got into this machinery. Back in 2015 we got our first Tow and Fert. We were, previous years before that, we were using contractors, and we were doing about 4,000 hectares a year. So that's why we decided to get our own equipment and do it, because that's pays for these machines very quickly when you're doing those sort of hectares. And we were using other brands before that, and we always found we were breaking it, bending it, falling apart. So I wanted something robust. That's where we started with the 1200, with a 1200 tank on the front as well, so we're doing 2400 litres. I decided to move into the 4000 as well because we've got farms in two areas, so we're Apiti up to Mangaweka and down to Opiki, so we're talking about 170 k's between them. So if you've got to travel that each time with one machine, it's just too much. So we got into this 4000. The 4000 was covering the Opiki area because that's where most of our farms are. There's 6 units down there, 6 dairy units. So that was doing more per day, and the smaller one went up to the Apiti area. Liquefying as against granulated, I think it is a benefit. You do see it respond quicker, I think, because the time the urea dissolves and gets into the plant and gets going, in that short period of the project when you want to graze it again next, the response is quicker. Yeah, the reason why I did look at your Tow and Fert machine was the quality of the steel and the workmanship of it. Doing what we do, we need it to keep it working, and have had the odd occasion where the front tank on the tractor hit the ground because I went through a bull hole, and I didn't break it, so that was good. Kept on going. With other machines I would have wrecked them.
Yeah, it's quite good to use. So it's just a couple buttons and it's away. It's quite easy to work out with the scales on the front what you're doing, and you can sort of, adjust your speeds and whatnot to get it right. That's pretty simple. Yeah, it's quite good to tow. I like the tandem axle setup on them. It doesn't bounce really much. I say a couple buttons and you're going. You cover the ground pretty quick with this big sprayer. Don't have to stop all the time and fill it up. And yeah, so we change the nozzles when we're changing the product. Obviously with the urea we're putting on a higher rate of water, urea mix. Pretty simple, just a couple little cam lock fittings and swap the nozzles over and away you go again. Easy to clean. It's got a big drain plug in the front of it. Just pull the latch open and all your last liquid's gone. You can wash it out, and yeah, it's pretty easy to keep clean, this thing too.
The return on investment, I think, like the first one, we probably paid it off in the first year. It's just the amount of hectares we do. Works out about half of it as sort of profit. We just did the pricing the same as what a contractor would charge us. So we worked out we paid it off very quickly and very little repairs. Well, return on this one too, I think it's going to pay itself back pretty quickly as well. So within a couple of years it'll be paid off. This last budgeted year we didn't quite do it, but we budgeted on doing 7,000 hectares. Just the way the seasons go, we didn't get that much, but a couple of seasons it's paid off. For other farmers to get into this machine, it's very robust, very simple to use. You can get through the volume of work. It's just so superior, and for it's value for money too. It's been good for us.